Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to achieve this natural and clean makeup look. First though, I do want to apologise, I had it on the wrong ISO the entire time. So first we're going to start by moisturising and priming the skin. I'm using Illamasqua's Hydra Veil to do this, and I'm focusing it more towards the drier areas of my face, which for me include my T-zone and my forehead. And then whatever's left over I'm just blending out to the outside of my face, and we're going to let this sink in for a while. Then I'm going to apply the Face of Australia Liquid Illuminator. This is in Angel Mist, and this is going to give a really metallic, glowing look to the skin. I'm putting it underneath the foundation in order to make it look a lot more natural. Then we're going to go in and conceal the eyelids. I'm using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer for this. You do not need much. You do not need much product on your eyelids at all. So I'm just going to take a small amount, not even all of that, and I'm just going to blend that all over the eyelid in order to hide the veins. I don't want it to look absolutely perfect because I do want this to look really natural. So I'm just going to blend out a small amount of that, making sure that I'm using my ring finger, which is the most gentle finger, and I'm not tugging on that delicate skin. Then I'm going to lightly set that with some powder. This powder also has a tiny amount of coverage as well, which is going to help get rid of any of the veins, and it's also going to set that concealer so it doesn't crease into the crease. Then I'm going to curl my lashes. Now I won't actually be applying any sort of mascara in this tutorial, so I really want to give them a good curl so then they are kind of defined, they're not sticking out straight. Then I'm going to go in with a flesh tone pencil. If there's one thing I regret about this tutorial, it's applying this pencil, which I think may have possibly gone bad because it gives off a very sort of orange sort of look, which is not what I wanted. But if you have a nice flesh tone pencil, go ahead and apply that in the tight line and the waterline. This is going to really open up the eye. Then I'm going to take a small amount of my favourite eyeshadow from Illamasqua. This is Heroine, on a big fluffy Ray Morris brush. And I'm going to place that into the crease. Super messy. We're just going to really buff this and blend this out. It's going to allow a little bit of definition, but we don't want too much because we want it to look super natural, like a normal shadow. Then for foundation, I'm going to use the Illamasqua Skin Base. This is a really great natural foundation, but it also allows you to kind of build up the coverage the way you want it. So with a dampened beauty blender, I'm going to bounce that into my skin to give a really natural pressed in finish, almost airbrushed. And I'm also going to bring it down my neck slightly as well because I want all one color. Then I'm going to go back to that concealer that I first applied on my eyelids, and with a really fluffy brush, I'm going to place that in the areas that I need a little bit more coverage. Everywhere that I'm placing it, I'm then pressing it in with that dampened beauty blender, again to give a really natural, lush finish. It's also going to make sure that it kind of sets a little bit quicker without the use of powder, because I want to keep this really nice and glowy. Then I'm going to go in with a small amount of powder. This is just to set the areas that I did apply the concealer because that tends to crease just a little bit. So I'm first going to press it out with a dampened beauty blender and then press a small amount of powder in. You don't need much at all. If you are dry skin, you do not need to even powder. If you are oily skin, maybe just place it where you tend to get oily. For me, that's kind of around the sides of my nose, a little bit on my chin and forehead. Then going back to that Illamasqua Heroine eyeshadow onto an angled Sigma brush, I'm going to use this to lightly add shade to my face. I'm not doing any harsh contouring or highlighting. This is just add a little bit more dimension. It's also going to show up a lot better in photos because I'm not going to lose the definition of my face that I naturally have. I'm also going to bring this lightly along my jawline and down my neck a little bit just to kind of sharpen that a little bit. We're not creating a new face, we're just emphasizing what we have. Then using Illamasqua's blush in Disobey, which looks super orange, just my ISO, so don't stress, on a big fluffy powder brush from Ray Morris, I'm just going to apply that along the top of my forehead because this is where you naturally tan first. This is going to add a little bit of warmth to the face. Then going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium, I think it's medium deep or something along those lines. I'm going to first use the spoolie to comb the brows the way I would like them, and then I'm going to lightly fill them in. I'm not creating a new brow shape at all, I'm just lightly filling in the spaces where I'm a little bit sparse. Use light feathery strokes to make them look like actual hairs. Then I'm going to go in with a powdered highlighter. This is Kitten from Stila, which I love. It's not too glittery, but it will give you that kind of wet, dewy look. I'm just applying that on the top of my cheekbones and down the bridge of my nose slightly. Then the first lip look, I'm going to take a very natural nude pinkish shade and I'm going to apply that to the center of my lips. I'm then going to press my lips together to blend it slightly, and then I'm going to go in with a squared off lip brush to kind of blend it more towards the out. This will give a more kind of stained, natural look to the lip. I'm throwing natural around everywhere, but I kind of just wanted the face to look better than what it looks like, but not look like I have too much makeup on. Then I'm going to add a little bit of pawpaw ointment to give a little bit of dewiness to the lips, a little bit of fresh youthfulness, and then that's the first look. And you'll also get to see it without the terrible ISO with my photos. So now you can actually see the look. This is absolutely great if you just want to look a little bit more polished, but you don't want to look like you have tons of makeup on. Then I'm going to show you lip option 2, which is a little bit more editorial. It's going to involve Sugarpill's Goldilux pigment. So basically I just covered my lips with a little bit of my MAC Pro Longwear concealer just to kind of cancel out any colour so that the pigment shows up a little bit brighter. Then I mixed the pigment with a little bit of my pawpaw ointment and applied that to my lips first with my fingers. And then using the squared off lip brush I used earlier, I then blended it out to the edges. Then using a flat paddle brush, I pressed more of the pigment on top to give a really vibrant effect. And there you go, there's that final gold lip look. This is something really party, kind of very editorial. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did and subscribe for more. Hi everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to be going over my fanfiction favourites for the month of March. Now I knew this video wouldn't appeal to everybody.